On the outside, Squid Game is a show about people competing for cash in a Hunger Game-like fashion, and for the most part, that's exactly what it is. However, there is one episode that marks a true shift in the nature of the show. A shift from semi-mindless gameplaying and executions to solemn, heart-wrenching moments of loss. I am, of course, talking about Season 1, Episode 6, Marbles. The Marbles game in Squid Game is at its core a masterstroke in storytelling, marking a pivotal shift in the series. It's not just a game of chance or skill, it's a game of humanity, morality, and survival. It forces contestants to confront the brutal reality of their actions, making them, for the first time, directly responsible for another person's demise. And it is this level of agency that what makes Marbles stand out in a series already filled with shocking moral dilemmas. But before we get into the detail, if you are new here and want to see more videos like this one, then do consider subscribing to the channel. If you haven't watched any of Season 2 of Squid Game yet, then don't fret, for there won't be any spoilers for it in this video. In the games leading up to Marbles, the responsibility for death was somewhat abstract. Contestants failed because of their own mistakes or weaknesses, and their fates were sealed by the rules of the game. Whether it was moving during red light, green light, cracking the wrong piece of honeycomb, or succumbing to the brute force in tug of war, the mechanisms for death were systematic. The contestants never pulled the trigger. There was always a degree of separation, a buffer that allowed them to distance themselves emotionally. In Marbles, however, that separation is obliterated. The game's structure makes each player directly complicit in their partner's death. Unlike previous games, where teamwork was often an asset, Marbles dismantles that dynamic entirely. Contestants who had paired up with friends, allies, or loved ones suddenly find themselves pitted against them in a fight for survival. There is no team to share the blame, no collective effort to diffuse responsibility. It is a one-on-one battle, and the weight of victory comes at the ultimate cost, betraying someone they might care about. This shift in responsibility is devastating. It not only forces contestants to betray their teammates, but also to face the full moral consequences of their actions. Winning isn't just about survival anymore. It's about living with the knowledge that they directly caused another person's death. In moral terms, this is the pivotal moment in the show where true agency is born for the players. If they win, it is because they killed their teammate. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of Marbles is how it weaponizes the bonds contestants have formed with one another. The contestants entered the game as strangers, but by episode 6, many had developed meaningful connections. These bonds are what make the stakes of Marbles so excruciatingly personal. Consider the friendship between Ali and Sang-Woo. Ali's unwavering loyalty to Sang-Woo, born from gratitude and trust, makes Sang-Woo's betrayal all the more gut-wrenching. Sang-Woo's cunning plan to trick Ali out of his marbles reveals not just his desperation, but also his willingness to sacrifice his humanity to survive. Sang-Woo's actions are a testament to the darker side of human nature, and the look on Ali's face as he realizes the betrayal is one of the most heart-wrenching moments of the series. Then there is Ji-Hun's partnership with Il-nam, the elderly contestant who, despite his frailty, manages to bring a sense of levity and warmth to the show. The dynamic between the two takes a sharp turn when Il-nam begins to lose his grasp on reality, or so it seems. Ji-hun exploits Il-nam's vulnerability, using his supposed confusion to his advantage in a desperate bid to survive. But when Il-nam reveals that he was aware of Ji-hun's deception all along, it's a moment of quiet devastation. Ji-hun's victory is hollow, a stark reminder of the moral compromises the game has forced upon its players. Amidst the betrayal and heartbreak, Marbles also highlights the capacity for selflessness and sacrifice. Nowhere is this more evident than in the story of Ji-yeong and Sae-byeok. Ji-yeong, a character with little to live for and even less to lose, chooses to give up her life so that Sae-byeok, who still has a dream to chase, may live. Their conversation leading up to Ji-yeong's decision is one of the most tender and emotionally raw moments in the whole series. Ji-yeong's quiet resignation and Sae-byeok's stunned silence create a stark contrast to the desperation and betrayal happening elsewhere in the game. Ji-yeong's sacrifice is an act of profound humanity, a glimmer of hope and decency in an otherwise bleak and brutal world. What makes this moment so powerful is the absence of malice or anger. Unlike the betrayals of Sang-Woo or Ji-han, Ji-yeong's choice is one of love and compassion. It is a reminder that even in the most inhumane circumstances, people are capable of extraordinary kindness. The marbles game isn't just about winning or losing, though. It's about what each contestant might be willing to sacrifice to survive. For Sang-Woo, survival comes at the cost of integrity and friendships. For Ji-han, it means exploiting the trust of a man who had come to see him as a friend. And for Sae-byeok, it means carrying the weight of Ji-yeong's sacrifice, knowing that someone else's kindness saved her life. But the emotional cost of survival doesn't end with the game. As the contestants leave the arena, their faces tell the story of the weight that they carry. Sang-Woo's cold pragmatism begins to crack under the strain of his actions just for a moment. Ji-han's is haunted by the guilt of what he has done, and Sae-byeok's quiet determination is tinged with sadness, a reminder that even survival comes at great cost. One of the most striking aspects of the marbles game is the illusion of choice it presents. On the surface, contestants are given the freedom to choose their partners, their game, and even their fate. This sense of agency sets marbles apart from previous games, where the rules were rigid and outcomes were largely dictated by luck, skill, or teamwork. However, as the game unfolds, it becomes clear that this freedom is yet just another tool for manipulation, forcing contestants into situations where their choices ultimately betray them. The first illusion lies in the selection of partners. Contestants eagerly choose people that they trust, often their closest allies, believing that these bonds will improve their chances of survival. However, this decision backfires spectacularly when the game is revealed. By pitting partners against one another, the game weaponizes trust, turning it into a source of heartbreak and betrayal. The twist shatters the contestants' sense of control, making them question their alliances and the very nature of their humanity. The choices they made to strengthen their chances of survival are the very choices that doom them. This illusion of choice continues with the game itself. Contestants are allowed to decide what type of marbles game to play, further reinforcing the idea that they have control over their destiny. Yet, this freedom is entirely hollow. Whether they play a game of skill, chance, or deception, the outcome is still the same. One person must win, and the other must die. The show uses this false agency to highlight the cruelty of the system, forcing contestants to grapple with the weight of their decisions. It's not just about survival anymore. It's about surviving while knowing that the choices you make directly cause another person to die. This layer of psychological torment makes marbles not just a game, but a moral trial, one that leaves lasting scars on everyone who plays. Marbles is a microcosm of what makes Squid Game so compelling. On the surface, it is a game of chance, a simple contest with a clear winner and loser. But beneath that simplicity lies a complex exploration of morality, humanity, and survival. The episode forces contestants and viewers to confront difficult questions about what we are willing to do to survive and the emotional cost of those decisions. It is this duality that sets Squid Game apart. The show is not just about the games, it's about the people playing them, the choices they make, and the consequences they face. Marbles is the emotional heart of the series, a turning point that elevates the show from a clever drama to a profound exploration of human nature. And that is what makes Marbles such a standout episode. It's not just about who wins or loses. It's about what they lose in the process. I hope you enjoyed this video examining how the newfound agency in the game of marbles marks such a shift in the moral tone for the show that is felt both on-screen and off-screen by the viewer. If you like the change in tone of this video, its topic and the brief touch on philosophical moral ideas, then do let me know in the comments below. If you have any thoughts of your own, do share them and start a dialogue. But with that all said and done, thank you for watching.